Welcome back to another episode of Doing the Most. I sincerely apologize for a couple things. Not just that I haven't been uploading this, right? Because obviously sometimes these games come too quick, but that's bad excuses, right? Bad excuses on the setup, bad excuses on everything. I told you guys, you can't make excuses. You just gotta go for it. So I'm making myself a challenge. I'm uploading every single day during the rest of the playoffs. It doesn't matter if there's no games on. It doesn't matter about any of that. I'm uploading on this channel every single day a podcast. We'll talk about anything that rumors, literally whatever. And the real thing I want to apologize for is I made a mistake. I got intel, right? I've been getting intel more or less or whatever. And I said Monty Williams won Coach of the Year. But I'm actually happy to say Tom Thibodeau was the Coach of the Year. That's on me. Big mistake. I know I said it before, so I wanted to apologize and begin there. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau and his coaching staff for winning Coach of the Year for the New York Knicks. We'll also say Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, well deserved. I know there's voter fatigue. We talk about this, right? Like, they've been voting for him every year. He won 3 out of the past 4 Defensive Players of the Year, but he really is the Eiffel Tower. Like, trying to shoot over him is tough. Like, he scares you. You see his presence if you watch any Utah Jazz games. As soon as someone comes in the paint, they're always looking for him. They're scared of him. So that's something huge. And then the next thing was that Jokic won MVP. I'm pretty sure those are anything we've missed so far, right? Big awards, well deserved. We predicted all of those besides Tom Thibodeau. I didn't predict him as Coach of the Year, but I'm happy for him. And honestly, the only reason I never even guessed that was because I heard Monte already won. So it was just like one of those things. But nah, Tom definitely deserved that. I think we found out that Jordan Clarkson won 6-man, which is what I voted for him for too. I wish I had actual votes. I wish I had an impact on anything. We saw that Derrick Rose won a first place MVP vote, and that was because of the fans. So shout out to the fans for always holding D-Rose down. You know how it goes. But yeah, let's get into it. We missed a lot of games, a lot of big things. Basically, there's only 4 series going on right now, right? There's only 4 matchups, and it's been really interesting every night pretty much. We'll start with the one from last night, the last game, which was Donovan Mitchell, man. Him against the Clippers and the Utah Jazz team strictly. It's not a one-man show. That team is like poised. They're been through adversity. Gobert spoke on that. They're well polished, I believe, and they're a full team. They're at full strength more or less as long as Donovan stays healthy. He missed the first game of the playoffs, and they've won the remaining 6. Well, like 6 after that, right? They said that this has happened 4 times in history, right? 4 times in history where a team lost the first game and then won the next 6. 3 of those times they won the NBA championship, and 1 time they did not, and that was the Utah Jazz team back in the day. So they're on pace to possibly win a championship according to that stat line, which is a ridiculous random stat in my opinion, pretty much, because that's like, who even looks at that? But that Utah Jazz team is nice. Ingles is like Paul George's kryptonite. I guess Paul George is like, has nightmares of Joe Ingles or something. Bogdanovich is a lockdown defender. He's showing like he's not just a sniper. He's winning jump balls. Like, this dude is on some different type of energy, different type of wavelength, different vibe. And Donovan's been carrying them on his shoulder. He had 45 that first game. And the Utah Jazz crowd, like, I'm not going to ever say I'm cheering for Utah or anything like that, because who does that? But nah, I'm serious. Like, we saw D-Wade their first game. He was giving him pointers, giving him, like, help and stuff, and Donovan went off for 45. And legitimately, like, that Utah crowd was insane the past couple days, right? There are 2 games. Now, it's going to shift to the Clippers home court. And you know the Clippers got to come out with a bang as well. Kawhi showed that against the Dallas Mavericks, he was able to pull it off. He was able to go down 2-0 and then win. But it's never happened where a team went down 2-0 twice in a row and ended up winning the second one. So this is going to be history if it can happen. So can the Utah Jazz withstand it and obviously put them away? We're going to find out. I'm kind of curious how this series unfolds. I think Utah's really well put together, because we don't even talk about like how the coaching staff gave Jordan Clarkson the big green light. This dude comes on the court and like legitimately just be shooting from anywhere. He does not have no chill. He doesn't look twice, think twice, none of that. He just be firing and it works. Like yesterday, the Clippers put out this zone that Utah just couldn't like do anything, and Jordan Clarkson just started chucking and everything was going in. I don't think it's chucking when he hitting threes like that. But that was the second game of the night. The first game was between the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Brooklyn Nets destroyed the Bucks the first two games. Like literally one of those games was like a 50-point game. And it was just insane watching Giannis like flame out again, right? That's what it looked like. But it went back to Milwaukee. I was going to tell y'all like it's not over till it's over. And the weird thing was that James Harden hasn't played a game yet. They've been resting him. And he could have came back. I'm not sure, but he's probably going to come back game 4. Especially that Milwaukee won yesterday. It was a very interesting game. It looked like, I'm not even going to say like 90s ball. It was just a low scoring game. Even though these are two of the best scoring teams in the league. And they just couldn't score. They came out firing the Bucks. Giannis was looking crazy. Middleton was looking nasty. Like, everyone was just doing work. Then in the second quarter, they stayed 8 minutes with only 2 points. They scored 2 points in 8 minutes. And it was just weird to watch. Like, that fourth quarter, like, no one was scoring. It was the same score for mad long until Middleton opened the lid. And then Kevin Durant. And then this dude, Bruce Brown, man. Like, dude thought he was, I don't even know who he thought he was. But he thought he was Kyrie or KD. He thought he was going to win him the game. He was, I don't know. That was just bad coaching in my opinion. Like, you gotta literally give the ball to KD. He was hot. You give him the ball, and that's a whole different outcome probably. Or at least you put it in the right hands. But Bruce Brown going to the basket on, like, Brook Lopez, who had 5 blocks. It just didn't make sense to me. But that was only one game for the Bucks. The Bucks are still in the hot seat, in my opinion. They gotta buckle down, especially knowing that Harden's probably coming back. Like, that was one of the worst games we've seen from KD. From Kyrie. Joe Harris was abysmal, like really, really bad. So the Bucks got to show that they could be better. Jrue Holiday didn't have a good game, but he came clutch when it mattered. He had a big spin turnarounds, pretty much go ahead basket. So the Bucks got to figure some stuff out. Like, I don't know why Giannis took like 8 threes. I'm not sure why he's been so inconsistent with his free throws. They called another 10-second violation on him. That's his second one this postseason. Man's like confidence is not there, and he's got to realize he's arguably the best player in the world right now. He's got to figure this stuff out. Stop shooting threes, man. We realized he had no bag when he was trying to do like some 2K speed boosts moves and stuff. But man's got to figure things out for real. They have a couple days off, which can be good, could be bad. It's bad because Harden's going to have more time to get back, and I don't really see the Bucks winning this series anymore. I did previously, right? I actually thought this was going to be a great series, and I hope it becomes one. I hope it goes 2-2 so we could be like it's a toss-up, it's anyone's series. But the way the Nets played so bad and we're still in that game till the end just makes me think like, wow, they're going to be so hard to beat. Now, there's 2 other series. They're both playing tonight. One of them is that Trae Young versus the 76ers. And I feel bad for them because DeAndre Hunter is not playing. He's out for the series. But I don't know how Trae Young and them boys really stole game 1. That game 1 was insane. They were up by so much and the Sixers kept clawing back. It was literally like a 2K me choking type vibe. Like how I play sometimes, and in the fourth I let a team come back. The game was over. It was literally a couple like minutes left. It was like a 15-point game, and then somehow you see it's like a 2-point game, and it just made no sense. But it was a crazy game to watch. Embiid had a great game 1 and followed with another great game 2. But honestly, like, a lot of guys need to step up. Tobias had a good game 2, and Trae Young needs some help. He needs some help. I know game 2 he didn't have a great game, but I think it's just like what they did, right? They adjusted. Obviously, Ben Simmons guarded him, and that's where they're going to have to step up as a community. Bogdanovic been playing well, and they're just going to have to figure things out. I don't know why Lou Will isn't used correctly, I think. Like, Lou Will hasn't had a big impact. I guess obviously because they use Trae Young so much. And Philly's kind of a larger NBA team. Like, they got size at every position, so it's tough. Capella's got to try to withstand Joel Embiid a little bit better. He's doing all right, but that series, like, It's going back to Atlanta. I honestly never saw Atlanta actually being able to do anything against the Sixers unless Embiid didn't play at all. So it's cool that the Atlanta Hawks did their job. They stole one. That was their job. Now they got home court advantage. Let's see if Philly can steal it back, which they probably can. As long as they don't let Danny Green shoot any more basketballs, they probably have a good shot at it. I'm completely joking. But that's going to be a fun series. And the other series is the Phoenix Suns, who look like the team to beat right now. Like, they're smoking teams. Literally, no one's had an answer to them. They smoked the Lakers. They're smoking the Denver Nuggets, and I feel bad that the Denver Nuggets, we don't see them at full strength, right? Like, MPJ's playing pretty well. I like Paul Millsap's game still. These younger guys like Monte Morris getting good minutes, good energy. Like, they're a rookie who's like 55 years old. Composo, he's 30, I know. But him, like Jokic, it's just they don't have enough to really counteract this Suns team, who high energy. They had the crowd behind them. Jake Crowder has been playing really, really well ever since LeBron and the Lakers were clowning him with the whole thing, and then now they in Cancun. But like, seriously, real talk, I don't know how or why Chris Paul is this good for this long. I know some people say he stat pads, but 3 different decades, this man on 3 different teams has had 15 assist games with 0 turnovers. That's ridiculous. It's legitimately ridiculous, and it's great to see him playing well in the playoffs. Obviously, we see it sometimes he looks like he's a favorite and then they choke or all this, but it's usually because he's injured. I'm glad his shoulder is not that bad. Devin Booker, where I'm so glad we're getting to see him on a big stage finally. It's about time. I think this Suns team is a contender out west for sure. All right, what I see happening, I'll give you guys a prediction. We don't do this, but I see Phoenix coming out. I'm not saying that because they're 2-0. I'm not going to say Utah because they're 2-0, but that's probably what it's looking like, right? Obviously, anything could happen. The Clippers could still make something happen. You never know with injuries. You never know with any of that. Like, seriously, no idea about anything, right? But if it's going to be Utah versus the Suns, that's going to be an insane series. I think every series so far in the playoffs has been pretty good, or at least, like, I'm not going to say they're living up to the hype, because that first round we didn't have anything go too far besides one series to 7. But, like, I could see every series kind of pushing 6 this time around, or at least it's just fun to watch. I think NBA basketball is great to watch right now, especially with fans being in the building. Thankfully, they've all calmed down. Since I made that last video and told fans to calm down and stop doing crazy stuff's been calmer. So I'm glad that's happening. I'm really excited. Let me know what you guys are thinking so far, who you guys are rooting for. Did I say anything wrong about anything? And I will be seeing you guys soon. I have big plans, big news about something. I may have gotten an offer to kind of like talk about a team, and we're going to take this to a whole nother level on a different platform and all this other stuff. So I'm kind of excited. You guys are the first to hear about it. So if you guys have any idea what I'm talking about, y'all definitely have no idea. But I'm going to be following the right word? Yeah, kind of following an NBA team. Not literally, like, I'm not going to go and like stalk them or like be behind them and like pick up their towels, but I'm gonna be doing this on an NBA team, sort of, not full-time, but sort of something like that. We'll talk about this soon. All right, I love you guys. Thank you guys for always making me live out my dreams, whether I'm doing this here in my bedroom, well, it's not really my bedroom, but my living room, or wherever I am, right, my setup, or in the studio, or wherever this may take us. I really do appreciate you guys. If you guys made it this far, please leave me a heart or something. I don't know. I really don't know. But I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. This is my time to tell you guys to live out your dreams. Do everything you can possibly in this world to make yourself happy. Whether you listen to me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere in the world, I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. It's been your boy Mos, and thank you for doing the most.